Hi, everyone. Mrs. T here from Beverly Middle School Wellness Department. It looks like we got 3 people here. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining. We're going to wait probably a couple minutes for a couple other people to join. But while we're waiting, and it's okay if you don't have a yoga mat or any props, but we're doing a restorative, which is a relaxing, easy, light stretching yoga today. Work on breathing. What helps me is if you do have yoga blocks, which are these things, those can be helpful for today. If you don't have these, you could use a blanket or a mat, another mat. So you can have a blanket, you can use a pillow, or I use this thing here. You can get some books to help you with some props. And if you have no props, that is completely okay. All right, so whatever you have, but if you want to take, because I'm going to wait about 2 minutes, if you want to go get some props or some things to help or an extra blanket, that's great. So I'm just going to be connecting and talking for a little bit. Yay, Lady McGrath. Hi, glad to have you on. And so just a reminder to any comments, if we can just keep it appropriate, and we'll be commenting now. You definitely, like if you have any questions or injuries you want to let me know of, then you can comment that right now. If not, then when we start doing the yoga, there really won't be too many comments. But yeah, hope you guys are having a good day right now. And I know we have a couple more people, so I want to just wait for them. Okay, we will get started. So I'm going to make sure this is angled. And if you can't hear me, feel free to comment for me to talk a little bit louder. All right, so I'm going to start on my yoga mat. And I'm going to start in easy seat. So for me, that's crisscross applesauce. I have pretty flexible hips, so I don't need a prop, but I would suggest anyone sitting like this, you might want to release the feet. And a lot of times using a block or a textbook or a pillow and putting it right underneath your bottom, that's going to take some weight and pressure off your knees. So I like to do this once in a while, make sure I'm here. I might go back to the mat, but either way. So we're going to try to have a straight spine. So if we can sit up, and we're going to do a little bit of a breathing, finger counting exercise to get us in the mood for this. So I call this finger counting. And what you're going to do for each breath that you take, you're going to take, so for me, for the first breath, I'm going to take my index finger and my thumb. And as I breathe in and out, I'll go 1, and that will be 1. And then on my second breath, I'll take my middle finger, and that will be 2. Third breath, 3, the ring finger to the thumb. 4, then I go to the other hand. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're going to try this together. And if you can, you're going to close your eyes. And when we start going together, if you can, you'll breathe in through your nose and slowly out through your mouth. But if you can't because you have allergies, that's okay too. So if everyone can take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, count that on your fingers. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, middle finger to thumb for 2. Deep breath in. Exhale, ring finger to thumb 3. Deep breath in. And exhale. 4. And now we'll go over to the other hand. Inhale. Exhale. 5. Inhale. Exhale. 6. Inhale. Exhale. 7. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. 8. And slowly open your eyes. And so this helps us create a physical stimulus as we're working on our breathing. So attaching our breathing with the stimulus and that's going on through our fingers. So I'm going to do it one more time, but I'm not going to count out loud because I want you to do this on your own. Because some of you are going to have a lot deeper breaths than me, and some of you might go a little bit faster. But try just to feel it on your own and count. So you only go to 8 breaths and then you'll open your eyes. And if you're done before me, then just take a minute to relax. And if you're still going, I will wait a couple seconds after I finish. Okay, go ahead and try this finger counting breathing on your own. Okay, welcome back. Now, if you notice that you were done substantially earlier than when I was done, then that means that maybe we can practice taking those deep breaths and settling in on our own. We can do this finger counting. Okay, from here, we're going to do a couple neck rolls. Now, when neck rolls, we're not trying to hurt ourselves, so we're just going nice and slow, maybe holding anywhere that feels tension. Reverse directions. And rolling our shoulders up and forward. Still breathing, taking deep breaths during this whole process. And now reverse, because a lot of us hunch forward. So let's see if we can roll up and back into that good posture. So forward, then up and back. Great, deep breath in. Exhale, extend your forearms up. And I'm going to interlace, you can't see, but interlace above your head. And then leaning to one side. So I'm not flying up that I'm going to fall over. I'm still grounded. Leaning to one side so that we feel that stretch all the way down the arm, down the side of the back. And then switching sides, leaning to the other side. And back to center, rain those fingers down. And I'm going to move to the side just so that you can see. We're going to interlace our hands behind us. You can stay on the block if you are, and you're going to pull back. So chest forward and pulling back. Great. From here, we're going to do a seated twist, okay? So I will be going the opposite way as you guys, so I'll try to say what you'll be doing. So you're going to take your left hand to your right knee, and then your right hand is going to go behind you. So I'm going to show you here. If I do the seated twist, it's right behind me so that I can be lengthening and into that twist. So you're going to take a deep breath in as you set your hands. And as you exhale, you're going to look behind you over your right shoulder. Do not look at me. Stay in the seated twist. And you don't need to twist and hurt yourself. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. Deep breath in, exhale, and meet back in the middle. And now we're going to go the opposite way. So you're going to bring your right hand to your left knee, and your left hand's going to become nice and stable behind you. You're going to take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to look back over your left shoulder. I like to inhale and straighten that spine and lengthen, and then as I exhale, I deepen my twist. And unravel and meet back in the middle. Bring the bottom of your palms of your feet together for butterfly. And again, remember, if your hips are hurting or your knees are hurting, you might want to raise your buttocks or your glutes onto a block or a mat or a blanket. So here for butterfly, I bring my feet a little bit in closer, but we can also bring them out. And we're just going to sit here and enjoy the stretch. And now we're going to extend our legs. I'm going to move to the side so that you can see this better. Extend our legs forward, and we're going to go into a seated forward fold. But the way that we start that first is I lift here, and again, I can be on a block if I need to, or a blanket. And as I inhale, I lengthen, and then as I exhale, I fold. So I struggle with my flexibility here sometimes. So I sometimes just grab the ground or my shins, and then once in a while I'll make it to my feet. So go to the level that you feel comfortable, and if you ever need to take a break, and then go ahead and fold again. And we're gonna hold this for a little bit, so settle into it. And come back up and release. All right, our next one is a really good alternative. So if you ever, participate in a yoga class and they do the yoga pose or asana pigeon, that can be really troublesome for some people on their knees. So this would be a pose or a stretch that you could do instead of that. So that's why we're going to do it now. So we're going to come to this position here, and I'm going to take my right foot and lift it up and then place it not on my knee, but a little bit above my knee here. And so I'm going to rotate so that you can see the window that I've created. So I created this window right here. So we're just going to hold this. So I'm not crossing my legs like this, but we're just going to maintain this window. And if it's too much of a stretch in your hip, in your glutes, and your hamstring, then you can scoot the butt back from that foot that is planted. And if you want it deeper, you can go a little bit closer. Now, some people, you don't need to do this. Some people have gone through the window and they may come to their back to pull that in, okay? And some people might go into pigeon, but I'm gonna stay here and enjoy this stretch. Now you may notice during this that I'm taking deep breaths, and that's allowing my breath to connect with my body. So again, I like to inhale and lengthen, and then as I exhale, I usually try to deepen that stretch or just settle in and feel how good it feels. And good, I'm going to scoot back so that I can unravel. And then we're going to go the opposite leg. So whatever leg you did not pick up, you're going to pick up and place on the other one. And then I'm going to scoot a little bit closer, maintaining that window that you created. So again, my knees in the back's not flying up or crossing my legs, just staying here. And whatever variation that you want to do instead of this, that's fine too. And go ahead and unravel there. Okay, from here, we are going to go up to table. So we're going to come onto our mat, and my knees are not touching, but they're about hip width distance apart. Knees are underlined right under the hips. Feet are touching, again, hip width distance apart. And I stack my hands right underneath my shoulders. So right now, I'm in tabletop. I have a flat back. I'm just staying here. I'm just feeling, winding my fingers and grip on that mat, feeling myself settle into this position. Now from here, we're going to move between cow and cat. So cow, let me just show you first, is when our chest goes down. And you notice that as my stomach and chest go down, that it creates like a little dip here. And usually when that happens, naturally, I want to lift the chin a little bit. I don't want to crank the neck. That's going to hurt. And then when I move into cat, I'm going to curl my back way up and my chin will tuck. So I want you to move on your own between cow and cat. And I like to inhale in cow and exhale as I move to cat. So go ahead and do that at your own pace. Okay, meet back in neutral at tabletop. And I want you to try to get off. We're on these like 2 railroad tracks. I want you to try to get off it. So maybe go side to side, maybe come forward for a minute. Maybe if you need a break, sit back in child's pose. But just kind of feel that movement. See where the stretch feels good. Great. Okay, from here, we're going to go to heart to earth. So what that looks like, it's like child's pose, but my glutes, my butt is still in the air. So I'm going to reach forward to the front of the mat. I'm literally bringing my chest to heart down to the earth. So I'm reaching forward, heart to earth. And if this is too much for you, you can always bring your forehead to a yoga block or a mat. But I'm going to go all the way down. Both ways are great. It's about your body and how you feel. Slowly lift your gaze to the front of your mat and come on forward to tabletop. We're going to go into our downward facing dog. So we're going to lift the hips. And we're going to walk it out or pedal it out here. So you notice that I'm sinking one heel into the mat, swaying my hips, staying where I think feels good. Dropping your knees down to the mat. And from here, you'll have 3 options. Go back to heart to earth. Go into a child's pose. So with your knees wide, or you can bring them in. Child's pose here. Or I am going to go into a modified child's pose and take a little break. And if your shoulders hurt whenever you're doing child's pose going forward, feel free to bring them back. And let's get ourselves out of that little rest, little break that we have, a little partway through the middle of the practice. And we're going to come on back up. And here we're going to do what's called thread the needle. Okay, so in thread the needle, what you're going to do is you're going to bring your left arm up. And you're going to thread it through your right hand, that's still the base in your right knee, And you're going to end up on the left side of your face, and your left shoulder is coming all the way through. And so there's different variations. I stay here, but some people like to bring this hand out further. Some people, if I'm on my left shoulder, want a deeper stretch and lift that right leg to twist and stretch on that shoulder. Obviously, if you have any shoulder issues, you don't want to do that deeper stretch. And if this hurts at all, then you can take a break in child's pose or just relax in whatever pose that you feel that you need to do at this point. And deep breath in. And as you exhale, unravel, reach up to the sky, and back down. Now the other side. Inhale. And as you exhale, thread the needle the other way. Big breath in, unravel, exhale, reaching up, back to tabletop. All right, from here, we're going to go back to a seated position. So you can just get into easy seat, or I'll cross my heels and flip on over. All right. So couple ways to get back. I know a lot of the kids in my class, they like to do what's called rock and roll to get their back to the mat. If you want to, just lay down and just relax here. But if you want to try rock and roll, just gentle rolling on that spine and loosening up, go ahead. Okay, and meet me on the mat if you're not already there. And we're going to take our knees and we're going to give a big hug, and we're going to hold this pose for a little bit, okay? And if it feels comfortable, if you can sway a little side to side, just stretching out, rolling out that lower back. And meet back in the middle. Okay, we're going to extend our legs. Now, I don't expect you to get your legs straight, but we're going to extend our legs up into the air, and I like to grab right behind the knees, a little bit at the hamstrings. And we're just going to keep our legs up. And some of you will be able to fully extend, and it's okay if you're down here. That's okay too. And as you inhale, I want you to bring your toes towards you, and exhale, point. If you want to release your hands down to the ground too for this, that's a good move too. And bringing our knees back down. Now we're going to do it one more time, but if you want to, even though this is restorative yoga, I know that some of the kids on here might want to go into that shoulder stand. So we've talked about using our triceps and anchoring down and supporting our lower back as we're lifting. So if I was going into that shoulder stand, I would push up, use my abs, and then lift here. But right now, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go back to what we were doing before. And bring the legs back down. Let your arms radiate out to the side of you. And you're going to let your knees, if you can go and get a 90-degree angle there, and you're going to let your knees fall to one side of your body. So I'm going to go to the right side of my body, and then you're going to look the opposite way. Okay? So this is how I look. My knees are going to fall to the side, but I'm trying to keep my back and shoulder blades still connected to the mat. And then I'm going to look the opposite way. Deep breath in, bring your knees to the middle, and as you exhale, go the other direction. Coming back to the middle. And one of our last poses, I like to do something that kind of makes people laugh and in a happy mood. We're going to try happy baby. Okay, so for happy baby, couple holds. You can hold on the outside of your feet, you know, the inside. You can grab your big toes. I'm going to grab my big toes, and you're going to extend your legs out and wide as possible. And you hold here. You might end up rolling to the side, like wow, like a little baby would. Try to get a big smile on your face. I know this is maybe sometimes awkward or weird pose, but I love it, and I know that the students I practice with love this pose, so give it a shot. All right, slowly release and extend your legs. Reach up just like you're waking up. Nice full body stretch. And we're going to end our practice in Shavasana. So usually it takes people at least 6 to 10 minutes to really get into a Shavasana. So we're going to aim for at least 6. And during this, to get yourself in, if you struggle with, like I get anxiety sometimes during this, or if you have ADHD, that finger counting will help refocus you to your breath and to your mat, okay? So there's no really wrong way to do this, but I would suggest starting with the finger counting on your own and just be here, be in the moment, be mindful of the sounds around you. If you have thoughts, that's okay. You can let them float by, or you can continue with that thought. Whatever feels good to you. So I'm not going to talk, and we're just going to be here, and I'm going to might be looking at my phone at the clock, but you don't need to look at the screen, okay? So settle in, close your eyes if you can, or pick a spot to focus your gaze. And at this time, slowly roll onto your side. And at your own pace, come up to seated. But if you want to continue your Shavasana, you can ignore me, that's fine. So before we end our class, I want to say that thank you for joining, and that the teacher, the love and the light in me honors the teacher, the love and the light in you. So we'll bring our hands together, we'll bow our heads, namaste. Thank you. Nice job, guys. That's the end of our restorative, easy, slow breathing practice. And again, that breathing technique can be done any time of day to settle yourself, to focus your mind. I call it finger counting. Some people call it the 8 finger counting because there's 8 breaths, and then you usually restart. But thank you guys, and have a nice day. I hope you guys get outside. At least the weather up here in New England and Boston area is nice. Bye.